Okay, so first off, y'all, okay, it was a lot of money made in the market today. Okay, like period, point blank. So much money made. Some people became 3 times richer, 4 times richer, 5 times richer today alone. But on the flip side, there were a lot of people that lost money today too, if you didn't know what you was doing. And there are a lot of people that probably saw the market just falling before their eyes and did not know what to do because they had analysis paralysis. Okay. So let's kind of go into the market. So y'all know I always mark up with my students on Sundays. But my three main trades for the week, I send it to my best friend. Hold on, let me see. So my three main trades for the week were Euro USD. So these are the befores. So I had Euro USD, gold was like the main ones that I were looking at. And then USD CAD. USD CAD is the one that has not played out yet at all. So it's still a lot of money to be made on that. So this is the Euro USD trade, literally already fell. Now what I'm expecting from Euro USD, okay, so right here, we're sitting at a zone. All right, period, point blank. Like we already know these supply demand zones, we're gonna have a little bit of consolidation here. I'm expecting this to push up one more time and then complete free fall. Okay. But I need that one more push up, and then I'm actually expecting it to fall to about right here. So let me, it's so crazy. I was actually thinking about switching. Y'all know Monday night calls is our thing, but like sometimes all the moves be happening, like all the moves that I will mark up on a Sunday will literally play out. And then it's like, y'all know I teach all day Mondays, and I be like trying to find time in between teaching to mark up something for y'all for Monday night because half of the trades be playing out by the time we get on this call. But let's go to, let me see. Let's say something like, have it fall into here. So, um, something like this will probably happen. Give me a second. Um, let's say a pullback. Mm, give me a second. I'm trying to see which one's best to put. I'll use this one because I could see some consolidation in this area also. So I'm gonna use this. All right, so this move here, where we're at, this level of consolidation, wait for, I think this is gonna pull back to this net zone or the zone that broke. Remember, anytime we have a break of anything, you always wanna look for a retest, okay? So the first thing, just like even today, right? I marked this up. Is Sheikah on this call? Sheikah? Sheikah, you on this call? Maybe not. I'm like scrolling through people's names and I don't see her. All right. Well, anyways, more or less, this is what's going to happen here. Earlier, I was on a call with her like around 10 a.m. and the market was up here, and I was like, it's about to drop. I always like, anytime I mark up, this is just something that I do just as a trader. I think that all traders, disciplined traders are the traders that are most successful. So I always keep a log of everything, and every week I always like write out my analysis. So last week I wrote that, well, this was last week's analysis here. So this played out, it was 91 pips, and then it hit my negative 61.8 that was here, and then it dropped. This was like a minor structure fib. I already removed it, but it dropped back to this trend line, bounced, and then shot up. So last week's analysis played out perfect, giving us the buy formation after divergence. So you guys know I always use divergence as like a confluence to the market turning around. So this was the divergence that I'm talking about. It's literally the only indicator that I use is the RSI. And I just use it as a confluence. I do not base anything off of divergence alone because
Yeah.
okay, can you please mute yourselves? I don't want to mute everybody because I want to give everybody a fair chance, like if you have questions to ask them, but please make sure your microphones are muted. But what was I saying? Okay, so about divergence, I just use it as a confluence. I never use it as like the end all be all, because divergence can happen for a duration of time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have divergence happen for a good 100 pips and it's just in an ascending channel or a descending channel the whole time. So here, the only reason I had traded this though was because it was like at this trend line bounce, shot up, came to the blue area. Then at that area, I had my first profit and then I had got back in, wrote it to the negative 61.8. Then it came down, retested its trend line. So right here, price shot up to our first TP at our blue. If you guys see this to the right-hand side, I'm like reading the second paragraph. Price shot up to our first TP at our blue 1 hour supply demand zone, then to our green 4 hour supply demand zone and continue higher, breaking our 1 hour trend line. So the 1 hour trend line is always the blue. Now I'm expecting price to shoot up to our monthly trend line. This was Sunday where we were about right here. I was expecting price to shoot up to our monthly trend line. The gold is always the monthly. I use gold as the monthly. It basically is like the golden zone, like the golden girl. So I always use it like the higher time frame. And so I put, now I'm expecting price to shoot up to the monthly trend line, which is also a negative 61.8 on our fib level, completing our divergence and then shoot down. So any of my students, please tell me the significance of the negative 61.8. Anybody? Yes, reversal.
Price reverses.
Exactly. So if you guys see this, everybody's always like, oh, like I'm in the market, but I never know when to get out. You see this hit a monthly area, but it was also at a negative 61.8, literally hit it perfectly and then shot the opposite way. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Questions, comments, concerns before I move on?
So when it hits it on the monthly, do we only look at it on the monthly, or do we need to look at it on smaller time frames as well? Do we only look at it on the larger time frame?
Do you look at what on when something hits a monthly trend line, or when it hits your negative 61.8? What do you mean?
When it hits the negative 61.8, I'm trying to get a better understanding.
So a negative 61.8 has nothing to do with the monthly. It's just your fib levels that's drawn. So that was a major structure fib level. So I'll show you. And guys, if this is your first time on my call, I do want to say this, and I don't delete my charts. Okay, so I will draw on top of it to kind of help you follow what I'm talking about so that nobody's confused. But my charts are like, well, how did I explain it? My charts are like a childhood, like memory or photo album. Like it's literally how far I've come in my entire life of trading. So like, this is how I back test. This is how I get my trades right. Like over time, if you just keep track of all your analysis, like this is how you don't lose trades. And I have it mostly on gold and US 30, and I'll kind of break it down. But basically, whoever just asked me about the whole negative 61.8 thing, so I use it on my fibs, right? And it's always when I know that the market's about to reverse and go the opposite direction. So you see this previous fib here. Well, we have multiple ones that I can like going up and down that I could really use. So you see here, this was a negative 61.8 in the past. And then we had a new structure fib. We had a new structure fib that occurred where we have point A to point B. If you guys, actually, I'm gonna draw this in red so it's more bold for you guys. So we have point A to point B, price pulled back, came to a new negative 61.8, you see here, and then it reversed. At that negative 61.8, now we have the structure that we just finished here. So we have point A to point B as always your 100 to your 0 here. Then we had the pullback of that structure. We had TP1 hit, which is negative 27. Then we had a complete pullback. Anybody tell me what the 100% means? That's a student.
Full retrace.
TP.
Yeah.
Reversal. Yeah, full retrace.
Oh, no. Yeah, full retrace. So we had literally, I mean, we won't call this a double bottom because it actually made like kind of like an information while it was occurring. But then we had a straight shoot up to this negative 61.8 that was here. Now we automatically know that means that the market is getting ready to reverse. But what you guys have to understand is the minor structure that occurs inside of the overall structure. So you have, people always say trade with the trend, but you always want to trade with the trend, right? on the smaller time frame, because you can have a 4-hour trend that is literally in a downtrend, but you have uptrends and downtrends inside of that 4-hour trend. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right.
Yes.
So here, this structure here, I can already start to place a fib here because now we have like a new level of support here. But mind you, this is one thing that I just want to say. Yeah, I definitely have this coming to the green zone like 100%. But this is, yeah, this green zone is a 4-hour zone. This will also be the -27, so TP1. But this is what I want to say about this whole area. We hit the monthly, but we only hit it once. And can anybody tell me what the monthly means?
Consolidation. It's not gonna come away from that area so quick.
Yeah, so that is what has me having this pullback, and this pullback could be a little stronger than where it is right now. Right now, if you just want an analysis of what's about to happen, I have Euro USD going up. But most of you guys who have been following me for a while, even though I just put this right here, I'm just telling you guys like long-term where price is going. It's about to shoot up. Then once it shoot, I need to see like, how do I explain this? So trade what you see, not what you think. That's how you won't lose money. You always want to trade what the market is showing you. What is it that you see at that very given point and moment? So at this moment, we know for a fact that the market is going to pull up. At the blue area, just like here, right? You can either hold it, but you want to see at that point, where is it going to go? Because this could very well have not gone up to the green and completely retraced, and then you could have been complete profits, and then now you all negative crying. You know what I'm saying? So you always want to trade the market as it goes. Anybody that tells you 2 weeks and 3 weeks from now where the market is going to be, like, they're delusional, right? Well, I can't say that because we know like next week, this is probably going to fall, because for the rest of the week, this week is probably going to pull back and then drop to about here. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is based off of entries, anybody can tell you the direction of the market. I honestly think anybody could trade. Anybody can press buy or sell on their phone, but everybody doesn't know when to get in the market, where to get out of the market at the perfect given point in time, so that you can get your equity and protect your equity so that you do not lose money. Does that make sense? Trading is really an art. So ultimately, at this point, we have point B. So point A to point B here at this impulse down. We already have a little bit of consolidation. This is a 1-hour supply demand zone here. So again, I can see price bouncing. Let me put it back. I can see price bouncing here at this point, and I want to be very crystal clear about what I'm saying right now. At this point, I have it pulling to this blue. At this blue, look and see if it's going to bounce higher and give you like a double top up here, or if it's going to fall. Because mind you, when it comes to the fibs, Fibonacci is a tool that is used, and this is the definition that I give my students actually, but Fibonacci is a tool that's used to measure the retrace of a counter trend based on the current trend of the market. So if the current trend right now is about to go down, we want to measure the retrace of the counter trend to see, is it going 23.6, 38.2, 50, 61.8, 78.8, 78.6, 88.6. Okay, can y'all please mute y'all's microphones? Whose microphone is that? One second.
What is this?
Pauline, can you mute your microphone? Is that yours? Okay. What was I saying? I'm sorry, y'all. I got one track line. Okay. Yeah, I remember. So yeah, so you like this pullback area can happen at any point. So what I'm expecting is the 38.2, but once it gets to 38.2, you will be able to see, and how you do this is by setting alerts on your trading view, but you will be able to see, is it very aggressive? Just like when gold was falling, you could see there were big bearish candles that were falling, or is it giving you some weak exhaustion? The weak exhaustion lets you know that, okay, like price is slowing down, price is consolidating here. It's not just about to continue in this momentum or in this push that is currently going in, okay? So right here, I have this pulling back, and make sure, all I'm trying to say is I got it going to the 38.2, which is the blue zone. This is easily like a good, let's measure it from here to here. This is 57 pips on the standard, $570, but it could easily pull back to here. We know this is going to go down, but what I'm trying to say is just make sure you see where it pulls back to before you take that sell so that you make sure you're protecting your money. Okay. Or best way to play it if you're skeptical or a scary trader, just place a sell stop. Okay. But again, the confluence of knowing and understanding that this is a monthly area and it only touched it once, my trader senses is like it's probably going to pull back further than the 38.2. All right, next trade that I sent was gold. So
Okay, so you take, okay.
Huh?
Okay, so you take your divergence on the 1 hour.
I do it on every time frame. You got divergence
Oh.
on 1 hour, 15-minute, 4 hour, every single one. You just got to know how to play it. So minor structure always plays out before major structure. Major structure is going to take a little bit more time. So you have to also understand what type trader you are, and it'll kind of help you out with that. But I'll give you an example in a sec. So we just talked about the whole like negative 61.8 thing. Let me delete this one for now. We talked about the whole negative 61.8. So what was my number one confluence? Actually, Shantae, you was on a call yesterday. When we talked about gold, when we were first marking up, what was the main reason, not chart related, but just common sense related, that I was breaking down to y'all why gold was most likely going to drop?
Due to what's going on in the United States economy with the election.
Okay.
If the US dollar were to go up, then gold was going to drop.
Yes, because gold is a what?
A safe haven.
Yes, so gold is a safe haven for those that did not know and anybody that's new. Gold is a safe haven in the market. So basically, people put money in bonds, people put money in gold, people put money in silver when they're scared, right? When you're scared, okay, fear and greed, well, mostly fear. Let's say fear drives the market. When it comes to fear, you're gonna try to protect your capital. So you aren't gonna put it in like a volatile space. So you're putting it in commodities and bonds. So, well, people talk about like yields and stuff like that, but both of those to basically protect it so that it's not in a volatile market ultimately. So what happened today was, one, of course we know elections, but the main reason that gold literally dropped and US 30 shot up was because of the whole coronavirus vaccine. So basically they did this whole study. I was reading about it this morning. Let me just try to remember everything. They did this whole study where the people that they tested the vaccine for, it was like 90% effective. And so we know, like, when it comes to, I think it was like the NASDAQ and technology and stuff like that, when it comes to that, that literally made US 30 shoot up. Most people, and the US dollar is also starting to gain some strength, and it's kind of like a sign of economic recovery, or like the first sign of economic recovery, I guess we could say, even though we still have a long way to go, but more or less that. So when that occurred this morning and that news came out, that happened around like 7 a.m.-ish, I think. That is when US 30 shots, that was the first point of US 30 beginning to shoot up, and then gold shooting down. But remember, guys, like, I don't trade based off of fundamentals alone. I think that everybody should have a psychological perspective and understanding. I think, thank you, Ms. Byra. I think that everybody should have a psychological perspective and understanding fundamentals, because you don't want to just be like out here not knowing nothing going on. But at the same time, you can be very technically sound and still make straight profit. Like, I do my research and I understand the fundamentals of the market. But if you look at technicals alone, just based off of fundamental rules, like, any of y'all can answer this. Y'all know at negative 61.8, that means what? We just went over it.
Reversal.
Reversal.
Exactly. So exactly. So at this negative 61.8, what happened?
Reverses.
Exactly.
Dropped.
It literally dropped, and it just gives you like a, now I had it only drop into this whole, like, I knew it would probably come to this green trend line, and at this green trend line we got like a little pullback. I had it come into this blue area, which it did on the smaller time frame here, this little blue area, but then it's just continued to fall and fill and fill and fill and fill and fill. I was not expecting it to fall that hard, but it was beautiful because that's when you just put your stop loss in profit and just like ride it out and be like, where are we going? Okay. Um, but now, okay, now with gold, just like with US, not US 30, Euro USD, I'm expecting gold to pull back just like I'm expecting Euro USD to pull back. Actually, let me find like a little level we can say it's going to pull back to. Actually, we can look and see this whole level here. Let's say about here. It fell very, very, very hard though. I kind of want to see what it's going to do
So
tomorrow.
Jessica,
Yes. Somebody just called me.
hi, good night.
Hi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where do you get your like your news, your fundamental news? Which app?
Market Watch.
Market Watch. Okay, thank you.
It's green. I think it's like $1 a month or something like that. I think it's $22 a month. I don't know. I don't know how much I pay for it, but I get it from Market Watch. But
Jessica,
uh-huh.
your trading tools, are they part of the product on TradingView?
Are my
Like
what?
this extrapolations that you have on the charts?
The what? I'm sorry.
The graphs that sort of project the possible price action, are they part of the tools on TradingView?
What graph?
He's talking about
Those
your
blue lines,
bars.
those blue chart buttons,
The bars.
This? Oh
the
yeah.
bars.
Yeah, it's Trading View. Yeah. If you
Oh,
go to
okay.
the left-hand side and go to bars pattern, yeah, it's right here to the left-hand side. Just go to bars pattern. But you have to know how to use it. Like, don't just draw it on there. Like, you have to really like understand where price is going. So just make sure you understand that. But like once you do that, they're great. I use them. It's the only way I mark up. Like fibs and bars, like listen.
Are they pre-programmed based on Elliott waves, or they just you need to do it yourself?
You say what?
Are they programmed based on Elliott's waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves?
Oh no. They're
Oh,
not
okay,
programmed. So like you
okay.
would have to read the market and then project basically where it's going. But I don't use Elliott wave. And that's a good point, actually, since you mentioned that, because I tell people all the time, like I am a primarily fibs trader. Okay. I trade fibs. Like if it wasn't for fibs, I don't even know if I would be able to trade. Like I use fibs for everything. That is how I get in the market. That's how I get out the market. That's how I make my money every day. I do not, if you have somebody that you learn from that doesn't use fibs, I don't think you should be on my call. But not that you can't learn from me, of course. Not in a bad way. But I just mean, okay, what I mean by that, let me try to clear that up. What
I
I
agree
mean
with
by
you,
that,
though.
huh?
I agree with you. Yeah.
What I mean by that is, this is just full transparency. You can't learn from everybody. And not in a sense of like, I don't want you to learn from me, but it's more so of a thing of the more knowledge you have as a trader, or you trying to learn fibs and you're trying to learn like Elliott wave and you're trying to learn, I don't know, some damn stars or whatever the hell the indicators are, and you try to use all of these different methods, you're gonna F yourself up because you get in the market and you don't know what you're looking at. You're like, am I looking at, what am I looking at? Am I looking at Elliott wave right now? Am I counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Am I looking at fibs? Am I looking at the MACD? Am I looking at Rankos? Am I looking at this? Like, it's so much. And the thing is that when it comes to trading, once you master what it is that you know, now every way can't be mastered. I will say that. Like, I don't think that you can just
I
use
don't
it
know what you put over
and
there.
master it. Please mute y'all.
I'll just ahead like that.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah, see what it do. Yeah, you put the other one.
Okay. Once you try to watch everything and you like hear all of these different methods, you're gonna get in the market and you aren't gonna master anything. It's like being a jack of all trades and a master of none. I actually wonder if that came from like real life trading, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like you cannot do
Absolutely.
everything. Yeah, more or less. But let me show y'all actually while I'm on here. And again, don't pay attention to none of these bars patterns in the past. They're just like old trades. But again, this is how I grade myself. Like once you see, this is how you get to the point where you're able to like pop standards and not hesitate or use certain lot sizes and be okay. It's because over time, once you just see your analysis just play out again and again and again, this is what builds your confidence for you to be able to execute. So like every single week, my charts look like this. And then they play out. And then every Sunday, I mark up and I update this whole thing to the left. Like last week, and this is a good trading point because I know I do have some people on here that have never been on my calls. Hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing because y'all can't see all my stuff. So let me just pull out a folder to the side real quick. And let me pull up I'll pull up last week. So I have we'll pull up October through, so we'll pull up October, September shouldn't be in here. I need to put that in September folder. But let's just pull up like last week. Last week was November 1st, right? Okay, so here. Every single week, you have to be disciplined in your markups. So every single week, my markups look like this. So like this was Euro JPY. This was like sometime last week. This was a completely different write-up than what it is now. If I go to Euro JPY, you'll see this whole thing. No, not that one. Wrong broker. Here. Euro JPY. Here. But you mark up every single week, and then here every week you just add, and once your analysis plays out you go to the next part. Once your analysis plays out every week, you just keep updating. Does that make sense? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then at the end of the week, you go through and you write your like what won and what didn't. So if you lose any trades, why did you lose them? Okay. So like this is just how you get, I would say, consistent. If anybody is trying to understand how to be consistent in the market, make sure you back test, but not just back test. Make sure you keep records because your records, is so easy in human brains and human era to forget what you just did. Okay. But then when you go back, like even some people right now, ask yourself, you can mark up a whole bunch of charts and then forget what you marked up. And then you be like, dang, like
That is
Yeah.
so true.
I just forgot.
That's true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's also why like my students, they only have a certain amount of pairs. You like, it's not a whole, I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of pairs. Some people disagree with that because they'll say, okay, well, what if you don't have a move every week? I personally feel like if you understand how to trade, you will definitely, if you have a good 5 pairs that you have, like my students, all my students have 7. 7's like the number of completion, like, you know, I'm just like that kind of girl. But like if you have a good set, let's say 5 pairs that you just look at and you know them like the back of your hand, ain't no way you're not gonna make money in them pairs, especially if you understand major and minor structure. Because even if you have consolidation, let's just say like GBP JPY or GBP USD or even EU or EJ, right? Let's use this pair for instance. This was a consolidating pair, but do you know how much money I made on this pair last week, literally from these buys? Like you can see based inside of, inside of minor structure. So let me go to it so I can kind of like show y'all what I'm talking about or what I mean. So let's just say we take a trade. Let's just say here. Let's just say we're in for this buy right here. This is inside of consolidation, but you literally see this was an impulse up, this pulled back, this hit to negative 61.8 and it reversed. Like, you know where to get in and out the market every single time, even if it's in the midst of consolidation. But the crazy thing about it is that it's only consolidation on the higher time frame. If you are able to dissect it and understand the minor structure that's inside of that overall time frame, you can take the trends as they come. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Because there are so many people that would like look at this and they would be like, oh, I'm not trading that, like that's consolidation. I'd be like, you know how much money I see up in that thing? And look, like literally the same rule that I just told y'all. And I just picked this space out of nowhere. If y'all see this, and I know some of y'all are like, oh my God, can you remove the bars? So let me just remove them real quick. Hold on. Here, this is an impulse, point A to point B. This pulls back. This hits TP1 and 2. This is negative 61.8. This is your TP. You're out of the trade. Then we go sell. Yay. This is a TP1. Make sense? So if I were to draw another fib here, point A to point B, TP1, negative 27. Y'all see it? Does it make sense? Kind of.
Yes.
Yes.
Jess, you make it look so easy.
It is easy when you can see it though. Like you gotta be, but that's why, like, listen, I think some of my students hate me until they understand why they have to do assignment number 2 over and over and over again. But it's literally like even this impulse up, this is your TP1 and you can see it, but you also know based off
Everybody,
of
right?
okay, wrong with this microphone thing. What is it? Okay, I'm gonna just leave some people out, and then y'all can just unmute yourselves if y'all have a question or something like that. But I think a lot of my students hate me when I make them do assignment number 2, but assignment number 2 is literally how you will know what to see. But you can only make money from it if you see it. But do you see how like this? Okay, see, now somebody writing on my screen. Let me go ahead and disable annotation for other people. And don't be rude because I am not the one. Okay? Not today. Like, why would you do that?
Hey, look, just kick him out like Clint used to do.
But that's the thing. I don't even know who it is. Like, I have no clue who is writing on my screen right now. But it's just like, why would you even do that when people are really trying to learn right now? Like, you're just being an asshole for no reason. And today, I'm not feeling it. I had students at 6 a.m. and I am not in the mood to deal with no BS. Okay. But did y'all see like all of these points that we were just talking about? So inside of this consolidation area, and there are ways like, you know, based off of how far price pulls back, whether it's going to go to TP1 or TP2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you can always trade in the midst of that consolidation. You see it? Everybody see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
It's so clear.
Okay, the trade that has not played out for the week, let's go over that. So USD CAD, I have a special relationship with because it was the very first pair that I ever traded on in life. So here's my analysis that I did. I think I had the first part of the sale last week, but let me go to a smaller time frame. So this is well, let me actually go out and then I'm gonna come back in so that y'all can kind of see where I'm at. So please ignore the top part. Don't let your eyes confuse you. Just pay attention to this golden zone that is all the way at the bottom, okay? So I'm gonna draw a line with trading view so that you see it. This is the line that I'm talking about. Everybody see that line? That's the line that I need y'all to look at. So just look at the golden zone, okay? So that is a golden area, a weekly area is one of them. Anything that's gold is either weekly or monthly. So here we're just looking at this price point. Now, can anybody tell me where price is sitting at right now?
Negative 60.
61, 8.
61.
Reversal.
I'm
Okay.
going.
Reversal zone.
Okay, listen, but it's also a monthly, so you got to be careful because remember, just like Shantae said, monthly means consolidation, but we have a lot of confluences here as well, okay? So if you guys see, we already got some divergence forming, so honestly, this is a whole little thing right here. Then we have this right here. So honestly, like where we are right now, it's sitting on a trend line, so don't just hop in this. Wait until actually, it's on a monthly level right now. We already know that means consolidation. I just don't want y'all to hop in too early. But this trend line just kind of somewhat broke, but we're still at the monthly area. So, and the thing about USD CAD, what I mean by like always know your pairs. If you know your pairs, you know like how things move. USD CAD and Canadian pairs in general are like very, very, very spiky. So keep that in mind when you're trading them. They are very spiky. So you can be up 100 pips and down 100 pips in a matter of like 2 hours. So just make sure you are managing your risk appropriately. And always remember, this is just like a rule of thumb for everybody that's like just getting into trading, because I don't know, everybody's like, it's so many new faces now that I like expanded this to go over 100 people. When you are trading, everybody tries to hit a home run opposed to consistently like growing their account. Compounding is the most important thing, okay? Like, ask Ms. Barbara. Ms. Barbara, you on here? She got to a point like Ms. Barbara ain't lost 40 trades in a row on US 30. So clap for her. I actually have a few shout outs that I want to say. I want to keep finish learning and then I'm gonna kind of go into them. Here, what was I saying? Okay, so this is a monthly zone. Wait for a complete retest because this is still sitting on this line still, okay? If I go to a higher time frame, this is only like 2 candles. You see that? Let me scoot this out of the way. Y'all see that? Yeah, so I had this sell last week and I have this going up this week. But even with this ghost pattern, there is a break and retest with this ghost pattern. So make sure you have the retest and it can actually go into that zone a little bit more. Let me see one thing. Let me put this at this next high. Okay, we still at negative 61.8. But don't miss the USD CAD buy because it's definitely coming. My TP area is literally here where I have that. And actually, let me actually draw a trend line on here. We'll put it about on that fib level. Yeah, we'll put it there. The next thing it's gonna do is gonna make a higher high. At that point, you will have a justified bias to draw a minor structure bid once that happens. So some of y'all are probably like, Jessica, what do you mean by that? So let me just kind of show you. Listen, this is not the bars that's about to happen. I'm only using this for example purposes, okay? So let's say this was actually price here and it made a higher high. Do not draw a minor structure fib until you have a new high point that gives you a level of resistance so that you can actually draw that fib And then actually that would be the perfect area though. So that you can actually draw that fib, because remember, the Fibonacci is a tool that's used to measure the retrace of a counter trend based on the current trend of the market. So you want to measure the retrace so that you can continue the current trend of the market. I have this going actually to this trend line. So let's say if this was actual real life price and not just something that I just put on here and made up, it would be that area. Okay. Oh no. Oh yeah, I did need to erase that. Erase that there. Okay. So USD CAD also a good one, but I think this is gonna push up one more time. GJ and GU are gonna fall soon. So here, this hit my negative 61.8. So GJ from last week. I didn't update GJ this week because I already had, once I marked up gold and Euro USD and the other ones, I was just like, oh, it's popping. So I didn't mark up the rest. But here from this, okay, so we have the 0 to 100. And then we have TP1 hit. So let me just draw with the little thing so y'all can see and know what I'm talking about. So this structure here, so we have 100, point A to point B. So remember 100 to 0. All right, point A to point B. Price pull back, hit TP1. Now, then we had like a whole bunch of consolidation. We were at a monthly level, so it was actually giving us a lot of consolidation in this range. That's a monthly key level. Let me delete that. And then shot up. So now this would basically be like a new fib point here, I guess you would say. But I'm not drawing a fib on gold, GJ, or none of them until I have like a justified point where it's stopping. Because with this, I see gold, I see GJ rising a little bit, honestly, before a fall. And it's already starting, it's like kind of in the process of starting to form some divergence. I see a pullback. Actually, let me put his little zone over. And it's sitting at a zone right now. So like right now, this is what I mean by trade what you see, not what you think. I don't have a justified bias on this because I don't have enough data as of yet. It's very impulsive. We know after an impulse, we have to have a correction. But as far as like where that's gonna go, I can see this starting to form a channel. Even if I go to the smaller time frame, it's already starting to form divergence, but divergence is never this short. Like this is just the start of it. And you know, when it comes to divergence, like it will end up looking like here, then let me put the lock on. It will end up looking like something like that before you actually get a sell. So this one for me is just not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? It's not ready. It's coming, but it ain't ready yet. GBP USD, I think it had more divergence than the other one. GU, yeah, it's actually a lot. GU, I would sell before I sell GJ, just because with GU, you also have the confluence of knowing that Euro USD is about to sell and gold is, well, not technically sell, but it's about to pull back. All of the pullbacks that are about to occur. Gold is about to go up a little bit, so that would be pulling back, which basically means that because the US dollar, did the US dollar get real strong today? I don't know. I didn't look at the DS. Well, let me see. Yep, so it did. So yeah. US dollar here. Did I draw this? Okay, well, anyways, with this strength, so that makes sense. Gold is pulling up because DXY is pulling down, which basically means that the US dollar is gaining some weakness. Well, it's not really gaining some weakness. It just did a big push. So it has to like basically recover a little bit. Does that make sense, everybody? I feel like that makes sense.
Patricia, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to last little 10 minutes to do my little shout outs real quick because I'm very proud of some people. So y'all know I'm always proud of Miss Barbara. She made 40 trades in a row on US 30 with no losses. So congratulations to her. And she got her account up to $60,000. Okay. Go, Miss Barbara. And then Quandarius is like my youngest. Actually, he is the youngest. He is officially the youngest. First it was Shantae, but now it's Quandarius. And he is a student at Morehouse, and he just graduated like I think last week, 2 weeks ago. Quandarius, how long it's been? A week?
I think like two weeks.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. And he just had his first $2,000 day. Okay. So congratulations to him. Y'all saw Rochelle's testimony of how she basically tripled her account. Angelica, you know, I always love you. Y'all already saw hers about the whole 250 to 9,100. Who else? Renato is on here. So Renato has been like heavily practicing. I never sent his testimonial out, but he flipped $1,000 to 12,000 in a week. Okay. So congrats to him. And then I have Latif on here. He just finished. Y'all gonna start to see him like a lot. He speaks a lot on these Monday night calls, but he's about to start helping me teach a little bit. And let me see, is there anybody else? I mean, really, I'm just proud of all y'all because every week y'all come here and show up and show out, okay? And the whole goal is to create wealth with everybody. So, does anybody have any questions? Because if not,
Yes, I have a question.
Mhm.
What do you think about, most traders say you're not supposed to trade towards the end of the year because the market is not moving on this and that. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they don't know how to trade.
Okay. Thank you.
That's what I think. I feel like if you know how to mark up, like I feel like there's always money to be made in the market. Now, of course, you don't want to force trades, but just like everybody said, you shouldn't trade last week because of elections. You know how much money I made last week? Like, I think that is just when you don't know how to do your analysis or market. I think that's for people who use indicators or strategies opposed to understanding structure. That's the true honest statement. So you have a lot of people in trading that will say, oh, when the SMA crosses when the 50 crosses the 4 and the 2 or whatever the hell the numbers are, and then you're like, oh, you're gonna buy here, you're gonna sell here, but like, anything can happen in the market. If you don't understand where you are in the market in terms of structure, like a lot of people just hop in trades. They don't know if they're near a monthly key level, a weekly, like they just have no clue where they are. So in times like that, like I can definitely 100% see how it would be hard to trade. Like when I first started trading, the person that taught me how to trade a long time ago told me to press a buy stop and a sell stop, and whichever one activates, that's the one that's gonna get you your money. So if you trade like that, then I could definitely understand why you should not trade at the end of the year. Really, any time of the year. And then you got some people that say like, oh, the summer is the best time to trade. And you have some people that say, oh no, the summer is terrible for trading. I would say historically, the main things that people need to look out for is actually test time quiz. Who listens to Jessica? All right. So what did I tell y'all was the most time in the market where you have the most crashes? There were 2 months.
December.
No.
October.
Yes. And one more. Around October.
August.
September and October historically, y'all can even Google this. September and October historically have the most stock market crashes. I think they called it like Black October or something like that. I would actually Google it for you guys. Hold on one second. What month have the most crashes? Stock market. Oops. Typo. Yeah, I had to study this a long time ago, but I always felt like that was good research when I first started trading because it always made me aware of those months. And if you think about it, October, US 30 fell to hell. Okay. This past October, like a lot of people ate off of October. So you have October 19th. That's my birthday. Um, okay, so Black Monday, Black Tuesday, Black Thursday, the Panic of 1907, all these things happen in October. These are just times like that's what I would say. If somebody said like, oh, when should you, be aware of the market? It would be those months. But that doesn't mean don't trade. Like I feel like that's when you have a lot of volatility in the market that you can make money from. In September, it's one of them also. I read an article a long time ago. I'm gonna try to find it for you guys. So you have this was October. This was September. The original Black Friday was September 24th. Okay, well, y'all get what I'm trying to say. Okay. Oh yeah, this was like a real term. The October effect is a theory that stocks tend to decline during the month of October. That's like a real thing though. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Something I do want to talk about, actually, because I said I was gonna. I went to this event, and one of my mentors did this whole thing, and one of my friends actually posted it because he was like the guinea pig for the experiment. I don't even want to say experiment, but this is some real stuff because it really made me think heavily. All right, so I want everybody to get out a calculator, and I want you to, was it by, dang, what is the number though? Hold on. Okay, I want you to divide your age, however old you are. Women, I want you to divide it by 75, and men, I want you to divide it by 70.
Pardon?
Hold on 1 second. Did I do that right? Okay, you got it right. Okay, that percentage number that you just got, this might sound crazy, and I swear I'm not trying to make it sound crazy, but like it really like kind of low key touched me, and it's something that I just want everybody to think about. So my mentor kind of did this like experiment, and he told everybody to like divide their age, and like he basically was like, you have 40% more of your life to like live, right? I'm like, what? Like who thinks about that? And he's like, a lot of people always think about like their life, but they never really think about like, and it's going to sound crazy. I'm not trying to sound eerie, but he was ultimately saying that like the days that you have on this earth are like numbered, and you always want to make sure that you are very intentional about like your goals and your dreams and your desires and stuff like that, because like time is passing you by, like period, point blank. And it's like, what is it that you want to accomplish? Like, what is it that you have that are your dreams? Now, of course, these can be way like, these numbers vary, and it's a weird conversation, so I actually don't even want to get into it too much, because it actually made me feel some type of way when he was talking about it, and I don't want to make anybody else feel that type of way. But this past week, this girl that I'm like, she was like a baby sister to me. It's actually my best friend's little sister, so she really was like a little sister to me. And she passed away, and she was 21, and I just like, even like right now, it's just really not okay. And it's just like when something happens to you, or like when your life is gone, like people and everybody else still has to like move on. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody will be sad. Like I'm very, 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 very sad about it. Like trust me. Like I cried for like 3 days, but I can't stay stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like you grieve, like even, losing my grandparents or people that's like been close in my life. Like, of course, they hold a very, very special place in my heart, but you can't stay stuck over that person. And everybody's life moves on. So it's like, what are you like leaving behind, or what is the legacy, or like, what is your purpose? You know what I'm saying? And what are you trying to like fulfill and do? And I think that everybody should think about that, even when it comes to your trading. Like, you should always have a designated, how much money are you trying to make this week? And how much money are you trying to make this month? What is your goal? You know what I'm saying? Because so many people out here and you just living life by, like just cruising, or even in terms of trading, you don't really have goals. You just more so have like, oh, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but how the hell you gonna get there? Like, you just saying it, or like, are you consistently like compounding your account, or are you making money today and blowing it tomorrow? Like, what is the plan? Okay. I wasn't trying to go that deep.
Deep stuff, Jessica.
Huh?
Deep stuff. Deep stuff.
Yes, but that's pretty much it. I really
Thank
wasn't
you.
trying to go that deep, but it's just something that I think that everybody, before you go to sleep tonight, you should really write that out, like, or have a talk with God. I'll be quick to do a fast, um, a spiritual cleanse, like whatever you feel like you need to do to get you to that place of growth. And also, I want to say this, because people always talk about like, oh, I want freedom, I want freedom, I want freedom. You have to understand what comes with freedom, because it's really not freedom. Like, you have to restrict yourself of so much, okay, to really be free. Like, when you think about it, it's like kind of like a paradox. Like, people say, I want freedom, but freedom comes from discipline, which means not doing what everybody else is doing. When everybody else is doing it, you really have to like monitor yourself and put yourself on a straight and narrow path, tunnel vision towards your goal and your dreams and your desires, and not looking to the left, not looking to the right, and like really understanding and knowing like the plan that God has for your life, and making sure that you're like fulfilling that. But that comes from discipline, because it's so easy to get like wrapped up in your old patterns. And anytime you're trying to change a new pattern in your life, or like make a new habit or something like that, like it's gonna be like, let's just put the easiest thing of fitness out there, right? It's so many people that want to lose weight, but then you go like, you know what I'm saying? It could be some hot wings in front of your face, or some chips, or some candy. And you still
Yeah, talk about me, Jessica. It's all right. Keep it real.
and you want to lose weight, but then when you see them French fries with that lemon pepper hot wings, and them hot wings, you know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
you starting to make it sound
Right, she
too
getting real
good.
personal over here.
Yeah, she getting personal now. That's it. That's all right, Jessica. I still love you.
The
She gonna
burger.
lose weight though.
He said
Nah,
the lemon
Anyone else
pepper.
hungry?
I just got
The
hungry. I wasn't hungry,
pizza.
but now I'm hungry.
I know, right? See, now I'm gonna have to call Skip to dishes.
listen, all I'm trying to say is like, we all have wants and dreams and desires, but like wanting and actually putting forth the action to make it accomplish, or to accomplish it and make it happen, is two different things. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, don't say that you want something without having a designated plan towards reaching that goal. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna trade and get the money to get my liposuction. Stop playing. I got a plan.
That's hilarious. But even when it comes to your trading plan, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna get to the point? Because I think a lot of people, they have like these dreams and desires of trading, and then they still place like 0.01 lot sizes and expect to like be a millionaire. You constantly have to work with that, and I have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to do it. You have to get to a point where you able to see them numbers go higher and higher and higher, and be comfortable. It's like, I think trading is like one of the main things that always makes you uncomfortable with yourself, and it's not for everybody. Okay. That's it. I ain't mean to have no lecture with y'all. I love you guys.
We love you more.
Love
Thank
you
for the
more.
lecture. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Enjoy your
Jessica.
night.
Love you
Stay
more.
Thank
nice
you.
from London.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
Love
problem.
you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Appreciate
much.
Jessica.
Love you,
No
Jones.
problem.
Thank
See y'all next Monday.
Thank you.